All right, good afternoon. Today we will be talking about what the periodic table can tell us about different elements today, because the periodic table has a bunch of different numbers and a bunch of symbols and a bunch of things going on, and so hopefully today we will be able to kind of clarify what some of those different things mean. So to start off, we're just going to look at a single element and kind of what's going on with the anatomy of these different squares that we see on the periodic table. So that big number that you typically see at the top is going to be the atomic number, or that's going to be the number of protons and electrons that are in a different element. The big letter that you see is the element symbol. Underneath that is usually the element name. Some periodic tables just have the symbol, so it's usually good to kind of start making flashcards of the symbols and the names, so that way you can kind of get used to those, because some periodic tables are different. And at the bottom there, it's going to have the atomic mass, or the mass of the atom, and expressed in something called atomic mass units, or AMUs. So why is this important? Why do we care about it? The atomic number, that's going to tell us how many protons we have. It's also, like I said earlier, going to tell us the number of electrons we have. And if we take that atomic mass minus that atomic number, we're going to get the number of neutrons we have. And so let's just do a quick reminder. Protons are those positively charged particles. Electrons are negatively charged, and neutrons are neutrally charged, or they don't have a charge. So let's kind of look at an example. So here we have oxygen. Our atomic symbol for this is going to be O. Our atomic number is going to be 8. It's the eighth symbol you'll see on our periodic table. You all should have your periodic tables out by now, since you know that's the first thing you're supposed to take out in your class when you come to class. And then our atomic mass in AMU units is going to be that 15.999. So we have 8 protons and 8 electrons, which we know because that's our atomic number. And if we take our atomic mass, which we'll round up to 16 for the sake of this problem, minus our 8, which is our atomic number right up here, we end up with 8. So we know that the number of neutrons that we're going to have in oxygen is going to be 8. Let's take a peek at another one. So this one you will not see on your periodic table. This is just kind of a for fun one. But can anybody tell me what our atomic symbol for this one would be? Perfect, that's right, it's going to be that AH. Now normally our atomic symbols are not going to include an exclamation point. In this case we do, so we will put that down. What about our atomic number? Perfect, that's going to be that 123 up at the top up here. So it's going to be our 123rd element on our periodic table. It's going to have 123 protons and, yes, 123 electrons. Now, how are we going to figure out the number of neutrons this thing has? Perfect. Yes, we're going to take that 230 minus that 123. And this is basic math, so we can use our calculators for this one. Awesome, yes. So we're going to have 107 neutrons in our atomic mass, or in our atom for this problem. Our atomic mass is 230 and we have 107 neutrons. So we won't always necessarily have the same number of neutrons that we do protons. That's why we use this atomic mass to help us determine the number of protons. Or neutrons, sorry. Neutrons. The number of protons is going to be this 123 up at the top. So what I'm going to have you guys do is we're all going to do a little bit of practice, And so I want you to take out a sheet of paper and you're going to work on these 4 elements up at the top. So hydrogen, neon, chlorine, and xenon. And I want you to tell me the atomic symbol, the atomic number, the atomic mass, the protons, electrons, and neutrons for each problem. And as you guys are working on this, I'm going to kind of walk around and help you guys out. So if you have any questions, you just raise your hand and let me know. All right, I'll have you pull that out and we'll go ahead and get started.